Well, it's that time again, another Keymaster episode. I'm Sven, and today I've got one of my favorite product owners
My name is Mats Rosberg.
with me today, and we want to go over the 47-day certificate validity time that's now come out.
Right. Yeah, because that's a big topic right now, right? And
So what's the problem statement? Why don't we start with that?
yeah, so today a certificate can be valid for 398 days, but a certificate is really a statement of a point in time. It will, tell you what information of a specific domain and a specific server, basically. However, over time, over 398 days, that can very well change. The domain can change owners. The certificate is not valid anymore. However, the certificate is still considered as valid and is out there. So that will pose a potential risk that even though this has changed, this doesn't reach the industry or the users. So really, that's what we're looking at.
And I think a big point to bring up too, this doesn't affect private PKI either.
No, that's important to remember that this only is considered for public TLS certificates.
So what is some of the impact we could expect to see from this? Like benefits or challenges, I guess, is impacts.
Well, if we start with the benefits, is that if we do shorter validity certificates, that risk vector, the time for a risk, is way shorter. Even if something changes, the time for someone to maliciously use this is shorter. So that's really the main benefit, to shorten this. But the impact and, let's say, the effects that we'll see is that we will also have to work towards more automation. Because the end game of this, by 2029, a certificate may only be valid for 47 days.
And I think that's a good point too. You said 2029. So that means it's not happening tomorrow.
Exactly. It will start from March 2026. It will gradually go down from a validity of today, 398, to 200. And the end game is 47 days by 2029. So you have time to react and adjust.
So there's definitely some runway.
Yes, for sure. But what I think we're looking at as well, another benefit, is that we're going to work more towards automation, because obviously exchanging certificates and rolling those over is a hassle for the end user. It's a lot of work keeping track of your certificates and keeping track of when you need to deploy them. So implementing more automation is something that's going to be driven by this initiative, which I think is a good thing.
So looking at that, what parties are impacted by this change then?
That's a good question, because we've just talked about the end users and what they need to do, but they're not the only one that are impacted here. Automation is going to have to spread all through the whole chain.
The whole ecosystem.
So the CA will obviously be the one implementing a lot of automation, how to handle the issuing of the certificates. One thing that's important to know with this change, not only the validity of the certificate is being rolled down, it's also the reuse time, but the CA can reuse the validated data, the domain validation.
Oh, when you're doing the validation of the person enrolling to make sure that's still good.
So today, you can reuse that information. Once you've validated the domain and subject information, you can reuse and issue certificates with that data over and over again for a longer period of time. This is also going to be reduced at the end game in 2029, 10 days.
10 days?
Yes. So this really means that the CAs need to validate data more often, basically every time they issue certificates. So that's where automation is going to come into play as well. So it goes the whole chain from the CA to the end user.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. But I mean, obviously that's really going to help with, and then posturing if domains do sell, or if there's changes like that, fraud can be prevented.
Absolutely. You will really have accurate on-time information in every certificate.
So in a way, it's kind of really good play.
This is for the better of the internet, for sure. This reduces a lot of risk.
So how would we kind of summarize all this to wrap this up, Mats?
Well, I think that if we look from an end user perspective, I think that the key thing that you need to do is really to get a good understanding of your own environment. You need to have an inventory of your certificates.
So the visibility needs to be very understood.
Yeah, exactly. You need to know where do you have certificates, what are the purpose, and when do they need to be renewed? How do I deploy them? So once you have a really good picture of that, you can act accordingly. I think that's really the key, that you need to start looking at this. And also remember, this is not happening overnight. You still have time. But as always, change takes time, and plan for it now, and you'll be ready when this happens.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
So that's a little bit of insight on some of the changes coming with public certs, and I think it's actually pretty interesting and looking forward to it. So see you in the next episode, guys. Take care.